in the world of online search. You've got this antitrust action that the Department of Justice took out against Google, and Google lost both of those cases. And so we're waiting on what the remedy is going to be based on that outcome. And then you've had the rollout of AI search engines as well. And so you're at a crossroads of those two things. So it's very evident that search is going to change. And in fact, one of the search engine journals is predicting that Google's actual search traffic may actually reduce by about 26% over the next year. And so that's why we wanted to put this topic out in front of you today, give you some food for thought, some tips, some actionable strategies that you can take to heart and put into play. And so our conversation today take about 35, 40 minutes. We'll have some time for Q&A and go from there. And so for those of you that don't know me, my name's Carl Willis. I am the CEO and lead strategist at Agent Branding and Marketing. We specialize in helping insurance agents grow their businesses through smarter and more effective digital marketing strategies. And so we'll be looking today at, again, how to really maneuver in this changing search environment. And so what we'll be looking at today is the antitrust rulings against Google, the rise of AI-powered search platforms and their impact on client discovery. Next, we'll discuss strategic adjustments that insurance agents can make to thrive in this new landscape. And then we'll wrap up with some actionable steps to stay competitive, and then we'll have a Q&A time to address any specific questions that you might have. And so with that, let's get rolling here. Who am I? Why might you want to listen to me? I've been marketing online since 1997. My first online business was in the dial-up days. I started selling vases on eBay, and former financial advisor, Series 6, 7, 63, 65, life, accident, and health. And let me grab chat here real quick. Oh, somebody's otter. We'll ignore that. All right. Author of Internet Marketing for Small Business, creator of the Marketing Classroom, internet keynote speaker on business growth and lead generation, and widely accepted as the go-to expert on insurance agency digital marketing strategy, and work with local insurance agents throughout the United States. So when we talk about search engine optimization and search as a whole, this is a real key piece of the insurance agency marketing ecosystem. And so when we talk about marketing strategy, we talk about the ecosystem. If you're going to be the dominant insurance agent or insurance agency in your local market, you're going to play in this ecosystem. You're going to use all of these components as part of your marketing mix. And search engine optimization is number one. It is the foundation. It is first and foremost the thing that you are going to build on top of. And so the things we're going to talk about today become super critical because they're going to have a major effect on your marketing ecosystem. And so your ability to stay fluid with what's happening in the search environment are going to be critical to the overall success of your marketing ecosystem. So let's talk about why this topic really matters for insurance agents. And it's super simple. Search engines are the starting point for most online experiences. We know that Google currently dominates this space. As you see there, 63% of online experiences do start with a search engine. and Google processes over 8.5 billion searches per day. However, AI platforms like Perplexity AI and the recent rollout of Search GPT are now reshaping how people actually conduct search. And this means that for insurance agents, adapting to these new opportunities and to these changes is going to be critical for staying competitive and for standing out in a competitive market, but it's also going to require a shift in strategy and a shift in your thought processes when it comes to the way people search and how you stay visible in that process. And so let's start with the antitrust rulings against Google. And so when we talk about Google, most people, myself included, most insurance agents have a love-hate relationship with Google. We love the fact that Google can bring lots of people to our doorstep. We hate the fact that Google literally dominates our lives. You are at the mercy of Google. Google controls the ads, Google controls the map rankings, Google controls the website rankings, Google controls where you're at in the ad algorithms, Google controls cost per click, Google controls YouTube, Google controls email, Google controls so much. And the Department of Justice really was saying the same thing. They alleged a monopoly, in particular in the search market, because Google really dominated search. And for a local business, you were at the mercy of Google. If Google did not give you sufficient rankings, literally could kill your business. And, one of the things that happens right now, Google is in the middle of its second core update in the last 4 months. Those core updates sometimes put businesses out of business. If that core update kills your rankings, if it makes you invisible to the public, oh well, you have no recourse to change that. And that's problematic. And so in 2020, the Department of Justice filed a lawsuit accusing Google of monopolizing the search market. And so fast forward to this year, and Judge Amit Mehta declared Google a monopolist and ruled officially that they were a monopoly. And what that did is it created a path for potential changes to how it operates. And so a couple of the remedies that have been proposed are breaking up Google services, which means actually breaking out some of the different entities of Google, YouTube, Gmail, Google Ads, Google Search. And then the big one that's being discussed, because at the core of it was the monopoly in the search market, was changing the default search engine agreements. And what a lot of people don't realize is that with Apple, for example, Google has a default search engine agreement. So when somebody gets their iPhone, Google is the default search engine on that iPhone. Now, what is speculated is that they are going to be required to break up the search engine components. We know for a fact that one of the things that's happening is Apple has been developing their own search engine for a while in preparation for that type of remedy to take place. And that's one of the things that we are anticipating is going to happen, is that their search is going to be broken out. And so breaking out the search engine agreements on different devices is something that is highly anticipated to take place. And so for you as an insurance agent, what that could mean is a more level playing field, number one, and more options for reaching potential clients because there is now increased competition in the search space. So you have more room for more search entities. So for you who are old enough to remember the early days of search when you had Yahoo and Alta Vista and all those other things out there, it could be like those days. But even in today's world, we have things like DuckDuckGo and Bing and other search partners out there that are going to create more competition in the environment. So that's the first thing that's been happening. We have this DOJ lawsuit that has been ruled on. We know there's a remedy coming. Now, here's my other prediction, not to get overly political, but Google took a stance against the incoming president. And so I have a feeling that the incoming president's DOJ is going to be a little severe in metering out the consequences in this ruling. So I do suspect that they're going to go pretty heavy-handed in the way this is handled, just simply because of some of the political stances that Google took. Just my opinion. Don't take it for gospel truth, but just my opinion as to how that may play out. Now, the second thing that's happened at this crossroads is you have the rise of AI powered search platforms. Now, we saw over the last 18 months, Google introduced their AI assisted search. So you see AI knowledge cards now in certain searches. We've actually seen that drop traffic to websites, because now what Google's doing is it's consolidating information into knowledge cards and no longer sending that traffic to unique websites. So that's one of the things we've seen. We also saw Bing using the Copilot that came out about 2 years ago. So we've seen that AI enhanced search over the last 18 to 20 months. That's what we saw with Bing, and that's what we saw with Google. But now we've seen actual AI search engines where you communicate back and forth with the AI, and it goes beyond keyword matching search results to intent based results. And so the leading platforms are Perplexity AI, which has a $9 billion valuation. And it gives very concise, accurate responses. It's used a lot for research. And now you have Search GPT, which was rolled out here about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I actually have Search GPT as the default on my main laptop in my office, just because I actually like the way it returns results. So it's very personalized, very intuitive, gives a very personalized search experience. So what you'll find with Search GPT is very conversational, and so people like these AI search engines because they're faster, they're smarter, and they're just more relevant in the answers they give. So this is a very significant shift because these platforms don't just match up keywords. So traditionally, SEO has been keyword driven. These platforms understand the intent, and that's a critical distinction. It's not just based on the keyword, it's based on the intent. So what that's going to do is help connect your clients who are searching exactly for what you have to offer. So there's a concept that I'm going to put in front of you here when we talk about strategy. And so here's the strategic implications for insurance agents. There are some key changes that you need to be thinking about as we talk this through. First, you need to think beyond Google, and you need to be exploring some of these emerging platforms. You need to be optimizing for AI driven search platforms. And so when we talk about optimizing for AI powered search, that means you need to be focusing on conversational, intent driven SEO. And here's what I mean by that: conversational, intent driven SEO means topical authority. And so to succeed in this universe, you have to be a topical authority on the particular subject matter for the particular niche or topic of conversation, particular location. So, for example, if the topic is auto insurance in Dallas, Texas, then you need to become the topical authority on that particular topic, and you need to be relevant in that. And so the guideline that I want to give you is you want to think like a machine. What would the machine be looking for if you're the topical authority on that topic? And so I'm going to give you some pointers in this, but here's the thing we want to look at. Focus on conversational, intent-driven queries, and then leverage personalization to attract the right audience. Now, by doing that, here's some other things that are likely to happen. You're going to find lower ad costs because as competition grows, digital marketing is going to become more affordable and effective because you're going to have more players in the space. You know, one of the things everybody's been griping about in my world is everybody's frustrated with Google this year because cost per click has gone up, but conversions have gone down. What we're all frustrated with is Google has gone to this automated pay-per-click system, and you really have to fight for manual control. And you see all these clicks coming through that the client gets charged for, but they don't even identify what the keyword was. And they'll tell you that the keyword didn't have enough traffic to be identified. Okay, but you're still charging the client for it. So Google wins, the client loses. Well, more competition will help with that. So the real takeaway here is diversify your marketing efforts and start preparing for this new search landscape. But the critical piece of this is think in terms of being the topical authority. So the machine recognizes your authority in the subject matter. And so when we look at the idea of topical authority, there's a few things that are going to be key for you. Number one, you want to stay informed. What are the latest things happening in this environment? So what regulatory changes are there? Platform updates, advancements in AI. Those are all going to shape how the search engines are going to work. And then you want to make your strategy adaptable by regularly updating your SEO process, and then experiment with these new platforms and focus on user-friendly, personalized content. So remember that your success in this changing environment is going to depend on staying visible and relevant to your audience. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of give us a live demo here for a few minutes, just to kind of help you in this idea of creating topical authority with these engines. And so we'll use ChatGPT and Perplexity to demo this, because this is really critical, this idea of topical authority. And what we're finding is by using this formula, it also works with Google. So you're going to be able to play across all bases. But one of the things I also want to remind you, in particular with ChatGPT uses Bing as its search engine. And so don't neglect Bing. In fact, you want to start watching Bing more closely. As we look at analytics information from both Google and Microsoft, we're seeing Bing is driving more search volume than it has previously. And we attribute that really to ChatGPT. We're starting to see a lot more ChatGPT search traffic taking place. But let's just create a blog post that you might end up putting on your website for a consumer, and we're going to use AI to create it. We're going to create it though for AI to find if we were using an AI related search engine. So let's use Perplexity first. And we're just going to create a real simplistic blog post. So the blog post will be this. What are the best ways to get a good rate on car insurance? Actually, we'll call it auto insurance in Dallas, Texas. And just so I don't forget that, so I can use the exact same one on ChatGPT search engine. We'll start there. So you can see all the places that it's pulling its content from, or all of its answers from. Okay, so now that it's given us that, I'm going to ask it to do two things. And I'm going to give you a couple little sneaky secrets here. So I'm going to tell it to write a blog post. So now it's writing a blog post for us. But now I'm going to give you one of the great secrets for AI and search. Roughly 50% of search is voice activated, and AI is becoming very voice activated. So ChatGPT uses voice, Perplexity uses voice. You can kick that on. And one of the things that really triggers voice as far as the searches go with these platforms is if you have FAQs. And so FAQs get indexed. Google loves FAQs as well. So we're going to ask it to write FAQs for this blog post. And so now it's written us a list of FAQs. So if we were going to put this on our website as a blog post, we put our blog post on there, how to score the best auto insurance rates in Dallas, Texas. And at the bottom, we'd put these FAQs, and that would be our piece of content. And that would allow the AI search engines to chew that up because it's more conversational, it's more, uh, consumer driven. Google will still index it, and we've allowed the AI to do the work. Now, GPT's engine is going to work a little different. You'll see the end results a little different. So we'll use GPT's search engine first, just so you can see the difference in the type of result it puts out. So it puts out a little different result. Now we're going to tell it to do the same things. We'll take it off of search. So it's going to write a how-to article. And now we're going to have it do the same thing. We'll have it write some FAQs for us because FAQs are AI bait. And so now you've got a good topical authority article. You've enhanced the topical authority because you've answered consumer questions. Those consumer questions can also be indexed, so you're not just addressing the AI engine, but you also are addressing traditional search engine that is keyword based. And so you're able to play both sides of the equation by doing that. So it's giving you really a 1-2 punch by structuring that way. And that's kind of what we want you to think about is being strategic, knowing what the future of search is, and you know, creating your strategy that way so that you can operate in both environments. You diversify the way that you handle search to where whether it's the keyword based search that Google uses, or it's one of these new competitors, or as if Google gets broken up in their search process, as we kind of speculate is going to happen, that you are positioned well either way. That you come out in a good place either way. Let me pull that screen back up. There we go. So with that, let's move into a little time of Q&A. Any questions I can answer for you? And these can be AI search engine, Google, voice search.
Oh, I have a question.
Sure.
Patrick Gagan. So as we were talking, I was looking at the Perplexity AI, and one of the things I searched was how can we optimize our business for visibility on the web with the emergence of AI. And like, so what, what's your suggestion on doing a lot of this stuff? So like it came back, you might need chatbots and a bunch of other stuff. And like, how do we as agency owners really begin to utilize some of this information to make sure we're getting the best bang for our buck, if you will?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is you take it one piece at a time and choose what makes sense for you. Chatbots have become pretty sophisticated. I've seen some that are pretty impressive. I'm still a little old school. I still like the human touch. I think, especially when you're dealing with insurance and financial services, human touch is hard to replace.
Sure.
People still like that. Where I think the AI becomes really helpful is in your marketing and in your processes. Marketing, it creates huge efficiencies. And in your processes, it creates huge efficiencies. We've done a couple of podcasts here recently with some insurers that are using AI in their processes to really, help create efficiencies in the claims process, in the underwriting process, to speed up those processes or to help in the reduction of risk, uh, as to determining what they'll take, what they won't take, so that the agent can quickly, uh, you know, uh, have an answer, and so those types of things I think are key. And I think that's where you start to apply that to your business is where can I gain ground in efficiency with AI? I can just tell you in my business, um, I use AI to sort my email inbox. I use AI to dissect videos and turn them into marketing, shorts and reels for those purposes. I've got AI systems that are you know uh, doing sound editing on podcasts. So there's efficiency things where I used to have to take either my time or I used to have to pay somebody, where now I can use the AI to do that. So those are some great AI things. Somebody's note takers in here. Uh, that's been a huge thing for me. I use AI on all of my Zoom meetings, and AI is taking notes, and then we're sending those transcripts off, uh, or those summaries off. So those are, I think, the places where you can really use AI to your advantage. I'll give you another one. I had to create a job description for somebody 2 days ago, and so I sat and had a 2-minute conversation with ChatGPT and knocked out a job description. Those are efficiency things where if I'd had to sit and write that thing down, would have taken me 20 minutes. The blog post we just created, if I were to sit and have to, manually write that, that might have been a 30 or 40-minute process. So time efficiencies, I think, Patrick, are the big wins for an insurance agent right now.
So
I
let me
think well, let me answer this one for you too. This is the other big one, just because I know you personally. I think the other big win for you is sales pre-qualification. I think you can use AI and especially, something like a chat bot just to do the pre-qualifying process, getting that information to your closers so that they then can write those new policies.
is there AI technology out there? One of the things that we always struggle with is, as much as I harp on it, is whenever we're having conversations with our clients, right, being able to make sure that all that information is transcribed and put into the system, mainly from an E&O perspective. Is there AI platforms out there that will gather information through a phone call and summarize that and put that into our management systems that you know of?
Yeah, there are AI transcribing systems that will record voice conversations and do that.
Okay. I think that could be a big help with recording information and protecting
Yeah.
our. Uh,
Yeah. In fact, the similar thing to what you're using on Zoom, there are AI systems that will do that for voice conversations as well. Good question. Any other questions? All right. Well, if there are no other questions, two last things for you here. We will have our annual planning webinar that will be here in about 2 weeks. We'll put that out here shortly. That's for 2025. If you're trying to plan your marketing budget strategy, We'll walk you through that. And so we'll get that information out to you. And then secondarily, if you need to figure out your own marketing strategy, you can schedule with us online, agentbrandingandmarketing.com/schedule, or you can call in and request a strategy session. We'll get you on the calendar. And with that, thank you for taking your time. We'll have a recording of this going out on YouTube, and we'll also put out an email with a recording link. And you can pass that on to anybody you think would benefit. So appreciate you taking a few minutes out of your day today. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving and look forward to seeing you again.